Howdy folks, and welcome back to How to WoW, Add-ons and more. Today we're going to be covering a little bit more of the basic interface, and we're going to be mainly covering this bottom section down here. Alright, these icons down here, what are all of these things? Okay, we've already covered the game menu. Alright, that is just the escape key, that's your system, your interface. Now system, the video settings are usually defaulted, okay? It will determine what is best for your computer and do that, alright? Advanced is where you can adjust the UI scale, alright, so we can actually kick that up a little bit. And that's what that is, okay? That's the UI scale. Alright, as far as the only other thing you really should have to mess with is sound. I prefer to turn the music off, okay? I also kick the master volume down pretty low because I don't need to hear everything all that well. I just need to hear the dialogue whenever NPCs are telling me story. And really, if you're in a dungeon or a battle or a raid or even a battleground, the combat is loud. It gets loud quickly. So I kick the master down pretty low. But yeah. Okay, so we're going to start on the left side and we're going to take a look at the character info sheets. You can either click on it or hit C. Alright. When you hit C, it brings up your character, all of the gear that you are wearing, and your stats. You also have, this is really important whenever you're talking about getting into Dungeon Finder or looking for raid, because your required item level has to be at, your item level has to be at a certain point in order for you to get into a dungeon or a raid. Alright. Here it's just your strength, and if you hover over each of these, it will tell you what it does. Stamina increases your health by X amount, okay? Armor reduces damage, physical damage by certain amount, okay? Your crit rate, I mean, all of these, every single one of these, if you just hover over it, it will tell you what it does, okay? Up here, the next one, titles. These are titles that you have earned playing the game, okay? These are all from achievements that you've done, okay? Equipment manager, this used to be relevant. I don't think it is anymore. The reason I say that, well, it's not relevant to me anymore. Back in Cataclysm, I was real heavy into PvP. And your PvP gear was very different from your PvE gear. So you had to have two sets of gear for what you were doing. And that's what this is for. Okay, you can create a set that is for just going around questing, dungeons, raids, that kind of stuff. And then you can create another set that's just for PvP. Okay, and you can just click on the set and it'll change them out. Switch out to whichever one. Alright. Nifty little trick that's helpful, so you don't have to go through your bag and change out every item individually. Alright. The reputation tab shows you where you stand with each faction in the game. With the guild, I'm exalted. Alright. With Argusian Reach, I am honored. Okay. Revered, Whelpling with Chromie, because I haven't really messed with that saving Chromie quest. It annoys me. I really haven't taken the time to do it. Go down Warlords of Draenor. You can see that I'm neutral here with these two. But yeah, you can just go through and see what your status is with each faction. The Frenzy Heart tribe in Shalazar Basin hate me. So if I see them, they will attack me. Okay? Bloodcell Buccaneers will also attack me. Magram Clan Centaur will attack me on sight. Neutral won't attack you. Friendly, honored, revered, exalted, those are your friends. Neutral, they don't care if you're there or not. Hated, they will attack you. So that's things to look out for. Now, this right here, this is me working on the title, The Insane. And I'm not going to get into that. I won't get into how to hunt for individual achievements. But I'll give you the information on where to find that. Currency. This is a pretty important tab in Legion. Well, in every expansion, really. Wrath of the Lich King, you've got your champion seals. It tells you how many of those you have. All of these currencies are things that you do not have in your bags. Okay? Think of it as credit. Okay? You have it, but it's not a physical item. Alright? And the reason I say it's really important here is this Veiled Argonite. This is probably the most valuable thing in Legion right now. And you have to pay attention because you can only have 2,000 of them. Alright? But if you hover over them, it'll show you if there's a limit. Like the order resources, there's no limit. I can have as much of that as I want. Alright? Nether shards also have as much as I want. But lingering soul fragments, I can only have a total of 40. And each week, I can only get a total of 20. Alright? So you gotta watch out for things like that. My ancient mana, I can only have 1,700. I can't pick up any more than 1,700. So I have to spend it before I pick up more. Turning in quests will reward you with some of those currencies. So you have to be mindful of how much you have versus how much you're about to be rewarded. Alright? Spellbook. Alright? The default tab on the Spellbook is whatever spec you're in. There's also your off specs. Holy, Retribution for Paladins. Okay? But the default tab will always be the one that you currently have active. And all it does is it shows you all of your spells that are available to you to use, as well as your passive abilities in that spec. If I come over to Holy, and I come over here, I have different passive abilities. Retribution also has different passive abilities. And then there's your General tab. Okay, you have your racial ability in here. Arcane Torrent, like I said, for Blood Elves, very, very common. You will use this a lot starting out, but I've found that probably since level 50, I haven't used this spell. But it's a good interrupt. And it's an extra interrupt, okay? So it's my fault for ignoring it, but this is actually a very useful ability. You have your auto attack, which you do not need to put anywhere, because if you right click on an enemy, you will auto attack. So there's no point in having that. Honor talents. This is in another tab. We'll get to that. But it's a ability that I got from having a specific talent in my honor tree. Alright. Guild perk, mobile banking, means I can open up the guild bank once an hour, basically. I can revive my battle pets, which I don't really mess with battle pets. Vindicar Matrix crystals, this is something that is Legion specific. And then you have your writing abilities, okay? Apprentice writing, I mean, this is like level 20 writing. Arcane acuity, this is it's a racial passive, passive. Broken Isles Pathfinder, alright? This is what allows me to fly in Legion. This was a pain to get. And it is. Pathfinder really is a pain to get. This lets me fly in Northrend. This lets me fly in the vanilla, and yeah, all the vanilla zones. Let's see here. This one lets me fly fast, basically. But yeah, I mean, that's all it is. It just shows you what you have available. All right, what your passives are mainly. Let's see here. We'll take a look at specializations and talents. The default on this, it will open up this screen that has your different specs. Okay, and your currently active one is the one that's highlighted. You can click on this, click activate to switch specs, and it'll change all your spells out for you to whatever you set them. So if I click on the holy right here, click activate, wait for it to do this, watch my spells down here. Automatically switched over to what I already had set down here. Alright, click on tank or protection and switch back, and it automatically reassigns all of my action bars. I'm sure you saw on the right side as well that my action bars changed because I don't have all of this stuff on all of my specs. And it's just because I don't play Retribution anymore. I used to, but one day I learned how to tank and I never went back. Now I hate Retribution. Talents, okay? This is spec specific. You go through, you figure out what works best for the spec that you're in and how you play. Alright? There are tools online, such as the Icy Veins forums, that will help you in narrowing down which talents you should have for your spec, but don't let it be defining, okay? Go through, read the descriptions, see what each thing does, okay, before you select it. Figure out for yourself if Repentance is better for you than Blinding Light. For me, I tend to overpull as a tank, and sometimes the healer can't keep up. So I have to use Blinding Light to disorient everything around me so that the healer can catch up. And that's my fault, but that's the way that I play. So to make my way of playing more compatible with other people, I have figured out what talents I need. Alright? After you've reached level 110, you unlock honor talents. You get these from PvP, world quests, and battlegrounds. Alright? And each level, not each level, but every so many levels, you will unlock a new skill. Now, just like the talents, you can only select one per tier. Okay? In honor talents, you can only select one per tier, but you have to unlock all of them. So, in order to unlock this, I have to get my honor up to level 31. Okay, then I can select that one. Until then, these are my two choices. And that's the same on all of these. And it's still more of that picking what works with your play style. Now, I think, I can't recall, but I think this is the only one that is PvP specific. The rest of these will work PvP or PvE, okay? But I think this is the only one that's PvP specific. So, don't be turned off by honor talents and having to do PvP to get them, because they're helpful even with regular questing, okay? They are good. This is your achievements tab, alright? This is where you can see what you have done. You can also figure out what it is you want to do next here. So we'll take quests, for example, Eastern Kingdoms. This is vanilla, alright? This is vanilla right here. Burning Steps. Complete 40 quests in the Burning Steps. I haven't done any. 5 of 60 in Cape of Stranglethorn. 18 of 50 in Northern Strength. I mean, it shows you your progress on them. And this is just for achievement hunting, basically. And it's to get lore masters. All right. I've gotten lazy. I really have. I haven't done all of these, and they're going to be tedious. I'll get to them someday. But that's what all this is. It's just your achievements, and some of them are necessary, like the class hall stuff. Okay, you have to have these two, I believe, in order to get flying in Legion. Let me see here. Was there any of these that were needed? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think any of these were needed either. But for the class hall, I think these two specifically were necessary to get flying in Legion. And that's, again, there are resources to help you with that, such as the Icy Veins forums and also Wowhead. That's WOWHEAD. If you hadn't heard of it, go check it out. It is a database for everything World of Warcraft. It gives you the basics on the page. Say you want to find out how to get a glorious campaign, okay? You go to Wowhead and you type in a glorious campaign, and it will autofill for you. And then it'll suggest if you're looking for something else or the achievement, a glorious campaign. You click on the achievement. The home page that it shows you will give you the details of what the achievement is. Go down to the comments section, and there will be where users have told you exactly how to do it. It's amazing. The internet is so helpful. But that's what that is. The guild achievements tab. This is for your guild. All the achievements earned by the guild. Statistics, which is a little slow to load, will tell you everything there is to know about your character. And I wonder if the creation date of this character is in here. Oops, it's all the way down. Well, oh man, this is very slow. Yeah, the statistics on this character are kind of a pain, because this character has been around for many years. Oh my god. Yeah, it's not showing the date that she was created. But I've had this character for a very long time. Okay? That was the achievements tab. Quest log. Okay. This one, you're going to use this a lot. Alright? Over here on the right hand side, you have all your quests. Okay? Or categories. If you hit the little plus sign, it'll show you the quest in each category. The Deaths of Chromie, I started messing with that. I got annoyed with it, and I stopped for a long time. I hadn't messed with it. But if you click on the quest, it'll give you the description of the quest and what you have to do to complete it. Let's see here. There is this one, I believe. I click on it, and it shows me on the map where it is. World, Azeroth, Pandaria, Valley of the Four Winds. That's where I need to go to turn in this quest. I hadn't gone there, but that's what that is. Real simple stuff. Guild tab. This one is if you're in a guild. This is what it'll show. If you're not in a guild, if you click on this, it'll help you find one, because it's a guild finder tool when you're not in a guild. But you got your news, whatever your guild members put in there, roster, who's online, last online, all that stuff, the perks that you have from the guild, rewards that are available for when you're in the guild, and guild information. Okay, I'm not getting too in-depth in that because that's very specific per guild. Group Finder. Okay, you're going to use this a lot, and the more you use it, the better off you'll be. Alright. Dungeon Finder is the default tab. And the type will always be the random of whatever level you're at. Okay? I am at Legion Heroics, so my default will always be random Legion Heroic. Now, if I click the drop down, I can downgrade it to a random Legion dungeon or specific dungeons. When you click specific dungeons, you can select any of the dungeons for your level. Okay, I'm a 110. I cannot go and select a level 90 dungeon. So, if I want to do a level 90 dungeon, I have to go walk to it. But that's what that is. Up here at the top, you select your role, okay? By default, since I am a protection paladin, tank is auto-selected for me, alright? Now, if I felt comfortable doing either healing or tanking, I can select both. If I'm comfortable doing all three, I can select all three. And whatever the dungeon finder assigns me to, I just go to my specializations and talents tab right here and switch to it. Okay? I don't like DPS anymore, and I am beyond noob at healing on this paladin, so I don't do those. Now, if you're very familiar with the dungeons, you can check this off. So if you've done Dark Heart, if you've done all of these dungeons a dozen times and you know them inside and out, you know your way through them, you can select that and get labeled as a leader. Doesn't really mean anything anymore. It used to, but now anybody can be the group leader. It used to be the tank was expected to know everything. I can't tell you, every single one of these dungeons I went into for the first time, and I used this little macro right here that just says, hey, I've never been here before, please forgive me for my mistakes. And somebody else will pick up the slack and they'll tell me where I need to go. Okay? More often than not, you will find that players will be helpful and direct you. But sometimes, especially during peak hours, you will run into those jerks that will try and kick you just because you've never been there before. It's like, I've never been there before. How am I supposed to learn it if you won't even let me run it? You know? Next tab is Raid Finder. Or next section is Raid Finder. This, again, is just like the Dungeon Finder. You select your role and if you're comfortable being the leader. Okay? Now, this one's a little bit different because it's not random. You pick which one you want to go for. Alright? You need to do Betrayer's Rise. You select that one. You select your role. You hit Find Group, and then you wait. And it finds a group. Okay? Now, as far as wait times go, in Dungeon Finder, DPS waits the longest. Okay? You will get 20-minute to hour-long queue times waiting for a group. Healers and tanks usually wait less than 2 minutes because there's so few of us. Alright, as soon as we queue, we're in because we've got all the DPS that we need. So it's not a problem. Raid Finder, however, is a little bit different. Raid Finder, I have found that tank and healers usually have the longer queue because the DPS is there and they're ready to go, but you need 5 healers and 2 tanks. And usually they're running dungeons instead of raids. So you've got to wait for a tank or a healer. So you're sitting here waiting just as long as the DPS usually does. And it's aggravating. It really is. But that's how you get into these raids and get them done. Because doing a regular raid group that you assemble outside of Raid Finder, you're going to run into all kinds of problems and delays, and something's always going to happen to drag it on, and it takes hours. This Betrayer's Rise right here, everybody is so over-geared for it right now that you can get in with the minimum requirements. Let me see here. Yeah, it doesn't even show requirements for me because I've got them. But I think you have to be a 890 item level in order to do this, and I'm a 930. But as soon as you reach the requirement, you can jump in here, and everybody else is so overgeared, so powerful, that this part of the raid only takes about 10 to 15 minutes. The first video I saw of the Betrayer's Rise and how to do it, the video ran for 45 minutes. It took them 45 minutes to do it because they were all at level. But now, this late in Legion, everybody's so overgeared, they just power right through it, and the boss can't even get off half of his things that you have to watch out for. So it's really not that big of a deal. But usually, you would want to go to YouTube and find, like, Betrayer's Rise or Deceiver's Fall or whatever it is that you're about to do, and watch a video on it at least to get an idea of what to expect, so you're not going in there blind and causing a wipe. Alright? Pre-made groups, I really have not used this tab. I've never used it. But this is for questing dungeons and looking for raids that aren't in the raid finder, or just a custom group. You want to do some random running around with a healer and a hunter. Whatever. You can create a custom group. Alright. PvP. This is, again, you got your casual PvP, and I don't know why that's selected. But it's, again, just going through. Same as the dungeon finder. There's the rated, which is significantly harder. These people are better. You can run into anybody. Nobody knows what they're doing. There's no organization. You're fighting against your own teammates because you're arguing in chat about what to do and where everybody should be. It's a mess. Battlegrounds are a pain in the butt. The rated, however, these guys are pros. Alright? Don't just jump in here. You will get beaten every time. You have to get better. Alright? War games, never done it. But I'm thinking that it's something like a pre-made group, like guild versus guild or something like that. I've never messed with it. So that's all there is to that. And it's, again, pre-made groups. That's a new thing, just like that. And then Mythic Dungeons. I haven't messed with it. But this is with your dungeon finder over here. The most you can do is the Legion Heroics, okay? Heroics are the best you can do. Mythics, you actually have to have a keystone for after doing the heroic, and you have to go in here and meet certain requirements and all that kind of mess. You can get into it. You can definitely get into Mythics, but if you're watching this video, you're not ready for them. So, that's all there is to it. Alright, the collections button. Alright. First tab is going to be your mounts. This is everything that you have across your account as far as mounts that you can use, okay? Certain mounts, like this guy right here, can only be used in certain areas, alright? This one can only be used in the raid on Courage. That's the only place you can use it. You can't use it anywhere else, alright? It also, if you scroll down far enough, will show you the mounts you don't have. Ones that you can still get. Okay? So, good place to keep all your mounts. Alright? Pet journal. These are all your battle pets. I looked at it for a little bit. As you can see, some of my pets have levels. But basically, I came down to if I wanted to play Pokemon, I would play Pokemon. So, I don't mess with this. I did but I don't anymore. This is also your pets that you can have following you around, like companions. So if I wanted the creepy crate to follow me around, let's see here, I can just summon it. And now I have a creepy crate right next to me. How lovely is that? And then, how do I dismiss this? Oh, crap. I'm clicking too much. Right click and dismiss. There we go. Now he goes away. Alright. Toy box. These are all the toys that you have collected across your account. Now, it used to be that you kept your toys in your bags or in your bank. And if you threw them away, they were lost. Now, they are collectibles. Once you get a toy, you right-click it, it goes into here. And then any character on your account can access it. Then, any character after that one who gets the same toy, it will say, you've already collected this toy. And you can't sell it to anybody, so you gotta drag it out of your bag and delete it. Okay. Heirlooms. This is another one. Whenever I first started getting heirlooms, you had to keep track of where they were. Because you passed them between characters. Alright. Now, you collect the heirloom, and it ends up in here. And then, you just go through, you find it. I want that one. I just made it. Where did it end up? Where did it even go? I just... I don't even... there it is. Right there. But it doesn't have a sell price or anything. And it's useless to me because I'm a 110. So, I just drag it out. Delete it. I don't need it anymore. Alright. And then I want to make another one. There we go. I got it again. Deleted. Heirlooms are awesome now. Because you don't have to keep track of where they are. You just go to your collections button and there they are. Alright. Appearances is all of the mogs that you've collected. Okay. This is appearances for your character. Like the Saltstone set that my character is currently wearing. Okay. Go to chest. And you can browse through. And the ones that you have are colored. Alright. They're lit up. Colored. And you can see everything that you have. Then, when you get to the grayed out ones, these are the ones that you don't have yet. Okay? And it gives you tooltips on where to find them. Now, if the tooltip is insufficient, go to Wowhead. They have the answers. Okay? That's all there is to it. It's simple stuff. Really simple stuff. Alright? Adventure guide. This is what I was talking about before. Okay? Suggested content. It's telling me to do battlegrounds and key mythics. Okay? Because I've already done the other stuff. Or if I wanted to check out dungeons, it suggests the dungeons. It suggests all of them. You know, same thing with the raids. Do all of them. You know, go find this loot. Okay? That's what the adventure guide is. Alright? It just tells you where you should go next. The last button is the shop. Alright? You can buy Shadow. He's a little companion, just like that creepy crate was. Buy him directly from Blizzard. Alright? That's what all these pets are. Alright? 2 pages of it. Mounts that you can get. Alright? WoW tokens. These you can sell on the auction house. Alright? Services. Which, character boosts and stuff like that. Game upgrades that'll get you to the next level of the game. So if you've only got up through Warlords of Draenor and you want Legion, this is where you would buy it, unless you went to the actual website. Okay, and then bundle packs. All right, and that's all it is. Simple stuff. But that is going to do it for today. We're going to be done with the vanilla interface now. Next time, we're going to start taking a look at how to do some add-ons. If you've enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and leave me a like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me on Twitter or Discord. The links will be down in the comments below. And we will see you next time. Bye now.